to the House.
The Honourable Fulgoff.
Mr Chairman, Labor has three basic concerns about this legislation. The first is that it takes us further down the track of taking a core state function and making it into a commercial enterprise which is profit-driven. We believe that basic state functions, whether it's prisons which deprive people of their liberty, whether it's the police or the armed services, they're core state functions. They should be carried out by the state. And what this national government is basically saying to the country is that they're going to put $1 billion into the pockets of Serco, which has an appalling track record across the world, and that money will flow out of the country and we'll end up with second-rate prisons because they've cut staffing, they've made the conditions worse, and they've undermined the prison's ability to carry out its basic functions. You might say rubbish, but look at the track record of Serco in its first year. The second thing we're against is changing the process so that the most intimate form of strip searching, that is illuminating the genital and the anal area with a mirror and with lights, will be used in routine cases instead of where there's reasonable cause to suspect. And Jackie Dean says that this will help prison officers. I want to tell Jackie Dean that the prison officers came along to the committee and said this makes our job harder. This raises tension. And the Ombudsman came along to the committee and said, we've seen more than we should have the use of this sort of strip searching as a way of demeaning and deliberately humiliating the prisoners. What is it about the Ombudsman report and the former Inspector of Prisons who made that report that the National Party members of this committee don't understand? There's no good reason for a more intimate form of strip searching. Since the changes made under the Labor government, we've seen drug use in prison, positive drug testing go from 36% of inmates down to 5% today. They were changes made under a Labor government. We had the Law Society saying there is no good cause as to why this intimate and intrusive form of strip searching should be introduced. The figures are going in the right direction, and yet this government is coming along and saying we're going to do something that the Ombudsman, the Law Society and the prison officers themselves say will be abused and will make things harder for those who have the tough job of working in prisons. And the third thing that we are concerned about, Mr Speaker, is that this bill seeks retrospectively to patch up the botched job done by Judith Collins on smoke-free prisons. Now, I believe in smoke-free prisons, but you've got to have legislative authority before you act. That's something that a government should understand. And Judith Collins was more interested in being the show pony and doing the political spin than she was in getting the law right. And the courts have said to this national government, you've taken an action that's unlawful, and now they come back, crawl back into the House and say, now we've got to patch it up, we've got to bring in retrospective legislation in an endeavour to get right what they should have got right in the first place. I'm tired of this government stuffing up things because they don't put the attention into the detail, whether it's prisons or education or foreign affairs and defence. Time and again, we see these botch-ups because of an incompetent government.
The time has come for me to leave the chair for the dinner break. This debate is interrupted. I shall resume the chair at 7:30.